Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Medabots Rokusho. In the last part we got here to Medabot Island and almost immediately started into a Robattle Tournament, which we're about to face Karin off in, and I should show off my set off beforehand. It's mostly the same way it was last part, only now I have the anti-air part on, because I was actually thinking ahead of battle last time when I had one before I fought Erica. I needed it for this battle, not that one. Let's hope that our winner Iki will give us a good fight in round 2. He faces off against the beautiful Karin for a heated Robattle. That's round 2. Begin! Wow, Karin, you really like Medabots.
Not only that, I have a huge amount of knowledge on Medabots. I read a lot of books, too.
Karin's team only has one new addition. The Draken there on the bottom, air-type Medabot, which is why I brought in the anti-air part, just so I can take it out really quickly, because honestly, it doesn't have too much HP. And I actually, even though I don't think I actually get it from this fight, I do recommend getting at least one Draken part from one of the fights against one in the game. Why? It only has one ability, and that is Force Bind. Force Bind prevents the entire battlefield from using Medaforces, both the enemy and the user. And that doesn't sound too useful, but later on in the game, there are Medabots that have really annoying Medaforces that you might want to seal. Particularly, I'm thinking of two towards the very tail end of the storyline. And it works a bit like an on and off switch, honestly. If you have Force Bind active, and you use it again, it deactivates it. So you can potentially reactivate Medaforces if someone else use it against you. Honestly though, besides that, this fight is just kind of annoying, because Neutranurse is still using full block a lot of the time when she's not healing her party members. The only real thing you have to worry about in terms of damage, though, is I think that's the Sailor Mate there, because that's the only thing that has an actual attack, aside from possible Medaforces itself. However, due to the fact that we're mostly doing Robattles this part, we are, of course, going to be fast-forwarding, and the theme song is Go For It from the Kingdom Hearts soundtrack, also known as the Mount Olympus battle theme. And, I have bad flashbacks whenever I hear this theme, because the tournaments got really annoying later on in those games, especially in Kingdom Hearts 2. Ugh. Overall, though, out of all the Robattles we're going to be facing in this set of fights, this is probably the easiest because only one of them can outright attack you. It still has its annoyances just because it can end up taking a while just due to how full block works, but nothing too bad. One thing I actually really like that the anime did, though, is they actually gave all the Medabots distinct personalities. Neutranurse was a really kind of gentle one. Brass was kind of sarcastic at times, but Medabot was the best easily. And I got the Draken arm. Like I said, gives you Force Bind, very low HP, but trust me, you want to have one of those later on. The winner of the second round is Iki!
Thank you very much. I learned a lot from our fight.
Well, that was easy. Well, let's see who our next opponent is over here in the locker room. Oh boy. Yep, in this half, we're gonna end up fighting the screws again. I'll turn you into a used dust rag. Oh boy. And I changed my setup there, that's what I do for that. And let's take a look what I did. He still has Totalizer, which is why I'm actually bringing in the Great Axe, because I think that has a bit more power than Peepo Hammer. It's just gonna be more useful along the way. And I have two of my Medabots with anti-C parts. Why? He still has Fireflash. But now he's doubled his amount of them, so we're now facing 3 Medabots. Otherwise, though, this fight is basically the same as it was the last time we fought him. I think that was even 2 parts ago at this point, I think. Iki's next opponent in round 3 will be the 3rd member of the Screws. It's Spoon. I mean Sloan. This time I'm really gonna mess your clothes up. Is that all you ever say? At least they're aware of how bad his lines are. The big thing with this fight, yet again, is the Fireflashes more or less act as meat shields, trying to get away in the way of you, damaging Totalizer, while Totalizer is trying to damage you. Anti-C parts are the way to go, just to kill them both as quickly as possible, then focus all your efforts on Totalizer. Oh yeah, that's a thing. Fireflash, more specifically, I think I mentioned this before, sea legs are obnoxiously high in evasion, so you might end up missing some physical attacks. I don't even know why I didn't have the Queen shoot. Huh. Either way, as usual, fast forwarding this fight, because we've seen this guy before. I do believe this is the last time you fight Sloan in the main story, though. I think I said that about the last one, but I honestly entirely forgot about fighting the screws here in the tournament. Because here's the thing. I have the game entirely recorded, at least the main story. But I don't have the entire story edited. In fact, I edit these parts as I'm about to commentate over them. So there are some things I say that I might have forgotten about that happens later on. So I apologize ahead of time for that. And that's all I have to really say about this fight. I suppose I should say that I actually really like this segment of the game's storyline. Mostly because I've always kind of liked tournament sections of game storylines, especially when they're implemented well. Like, that's actually one of the reasons I really like, yet again, another similarly concepted game, Custom Robo Arena on the DS, rather, because a good amount of that game's storyline is tournament-based. And that game is really fun, though it can be really annoying. But it's not as hard as Custom Robo on the GameCube, because, good lord, that got annoying. Looking across my shelf, I don't really notice many off the top of my head that have tournament sections that are mandatory. My PlayStation section's also being blocked by a few things, so oh well. Either way, this Totalizer fight is basically just a slightly advanced version of the last one, and it's not too annoying because of that. I actually forget what meta part I get from this, though. I believe I get one of the Totalizer arms? Yes I do. Mega Laser is not that good. Very low rate of success, but very high power. The winner of round 3 is Iki! You have to do your laundry by yourself. Yeah? And... okay, then. I have a feeling they wrote him to be more comedy relief, but it just falls flat. Oh boy, next up is Spike. Yeah, we're fighting all 3 screws, aren't we? You'll regret what you've done to me. The boss fights you right after me. So you already know you're going to lose? And doesn't that mean you fight her if I lose? Anyway, in terms of setup I have for this part, not much has changed. I gave the Phoenix arm to Chameleon instead of the anti-air because it's not going to come in handy here. The Phoenix arm is really good. In fact, he's going to have that for a lot of the game from now on. Because it inflicts flow, and flow is just a really good status element to have on the enemy. Also, I must say, I'm really sad this is the only part where Mr. Referee shows up in the game. Because Mr. Referee was one of the funniest parts of the cartoon, or anime rather, with how often he'd just show up out of nowhere. Now the arrival of the number 2 man of the screws, Spike! He loves to tinker around with all sorts of mechanics. Just what kind of Robattle will he show us tonight? There's no way I'm gonna lose to you. You already have twice, though. Spike, like Sloan, is not much harder since he just added another one of his secondary Medabot. He added a second Manta Prey, which, as we've gone over, kind of a pathetic Medabot. If you have any GrappleTrap attacks, I can recommend using one of those, just to kind of mitigate any issues at all that the Manta Prays could cause. But honestly, this fight is easy. I still end up fast-forwarding part of it, because some of these fights actually end up taking a while, but nothing too annoying. I suppose while we're waiting for this fight to end, because we've seen this fight basically already, just with one less Medabot, I could go over my origins with Medabots, because I've mentioned that I would go over that before, but I don't think I have yet. Medabots was something I got introduced to through the TV show. Watching that on Fox Kids, I think it was, as a kid. And honestly, that's all I needed, because it was basically the same concept as Pokemon in idea, but with better humor and slightly more threatening villains. The Robos were not very much more threatening than Team Rocket, but they actually had more personality to them, I guess is what I'm thinking. So that's the way that worked. And then at one point I saw this game and Medabots AX for sale, I think in GameStop. And I just bought them because, why not? I like the show, why wouldn't I like the games? Though I think my first Medabots game, I know I've mentioned this before in this LP, was Medabots Infinity. And, oh boy, that game is irritating. I don't know what it is about Medabots being a fairly difficult video game series, but it just is. And I really should play some of the other games here in the Patron series, or Mother series, I suppose. Flagship series, there we go, for the franchise in Japan, and see how difficult they are. I won't be surprised if Medarot 1 is hard, but I really should see how they all are. Either way, Spike, he's Spike, he's easy. I shouldn't give you much trouble. And yeah. Alright, what part did I get from him? Oh, Manta Prey arm. That's actually not the worst. Low armor, but decent rate of success, so that's not the worst thing I could have gotten out of that. The winner of the 4th round is Iki! How does a weakling like you get to be the hero? Because I'm the protagonist. Look at my red shirt and weird ponytail hair. What is that even? Either way, let's see who's next. And of course, it's Samantha. What do you have to say? It looks like my boys decided to go easy you again. Wait, what? But next time I wonder if they'll be so nice. I saw that typo there, game. There's actually a lot of those in this game. If you pay attention to the dialogue, there's probably a few I freeze on for a few seconds, but forget to comment on here in the commentary, just because I'm actually supposed to be reading the dialogue. But there's a lot of them. Either way, I actually customized my 4th Medabot for this fight coming up because they all have victory armor heads. Because obviously, if we're going up against Samantha, that means she has Peppercat, which means that I can be potentially frozen. And you don't want any shot type attacks on you, by the way. Just go all grapple. All right, Samantha, let's bring it on. The next round of B-Blocks competition will be the spot of finalist. Oh no, for the spot of finalist, my bad. It's the leader of the screws, Miss Sammy. Since when are you Miss Sammy? You got a problem? Whatever floats your boat. If you got something to say, then spit it out. You've really got some nerve. All right, she still has Peppercat, but she now has her 2nd and 3rd Medabot, which are Red Lace. Red Lace is similar to Spydar that we fought earlier in that its only attack is a trap type ability, but theirs is ShotTrap, which obviously, as you could expect, hurts anything that you try to use a ShotTrap with. Or no, a shot attack with. In this battle, I actually ended up customizing myself to have GrappleTrap, though, just so I can make sure that the one attack that they can really throw at me, I could basically throw back at them. If you're playing Medabi, I recommend just charging Medaforce and then use the first Medaforce that Medabi himself has, and then just firing at whoever it lands on. Here, though, you can just basically go all out. Medaforces are still good, but this fight is not hard at all if you know what's coming up. Oh, that's the annoying thing. I still don't know exactly how the trap attacks work, rather, when it comes to how long they last. Sometimes they last a turn, sometimes they don't. I think it might have to do with the stat of the person using the trap, which I wouldn't be surprised by at all, honestly. But sometimes it feels like it's just entirely random. It probably is, for all I know, too. We're actually coming up with one of the other annoyances with this fight, is that if the Red Laces actually get off their Medaforce, they have Attack Trap, which I believe is, I think it's either a random trap or just hits you no matter what you do. But thankfully, my damage cannot pace theirs. But this fight actually has one issue on the editing side, and that's the fact it has one of the most anticlimactic endings that it could possibly have. And that, she stubs her toe. It's basically the way to look at it. Oh no, caught in a GrappleTrap. Oh no, my head's exploding. Welp. I did actually laugh when that happened because I realized, I don't have an easy way to edit this. Either way, Peppercat is probably the most annoying fight we've seen here yet, but nothing too bad. And I actually got Bangle Trick from it. You want to get this, or at least one of the ShotTrap parts. Winner of the 5th round in the B-Block competition, Iki! Ew, are you trying to embarrass me? Yes. Yes, I am. This marks the end for the Robattles of the AB block. On behalf of the World Medabot Federation, thanks to all who participated. Iki, if you would be so kind, some words for the world to hear. The world thanks you! All right, bye. And now we kind of have a break. Coming up next is our special guest. Please proceed to the spectators area from the main entrance. That is actually the area where the audience is that we entered earlier, so let's go check out what's going on. But I should mention this at this point. At this point, this guy now has trade for you. You can trade the Haniwa head for a Giggly Jiggly head, which I don't want just because not too good in my eyes, but it's there, I suppose, if you want it. You can actually fight Giggly Jellies over in the docks that we were on before we left from Medabot Island, so it's there if you want it. Iki, over here. And now, without any further ado, let me introduce our special guest, the one responsible for Medabot Island and all of its attractions, a virtual authority on Medabots. Here he is, Dr. Almond. Ah, this guy. Hey, it's that old guy.
I'm Dr. Almond. I'm currently developing a research group for Medabot theories and whatnot.
Well, he's the real important guy.
Don't get hung up on appearances.
Within Medabots exists an unlimited potential. A medal is much like the human brain. There are many things uncharted. I hope that this tournament can give metafighters the opportunity to cultivate the abilities of their Medabots. Thank you.
Thunderous applause! I just imagine that's the narrator singing that. Pretty impressive. Yeah, in his own way, I guess.
Dr. Armand, thank you for your time. We are going to take a short break now. Everyone, make sure to come back for the second half of our tournament.
Okay, then. We've got some time to kill. Let's go see the parade and then check out some games at the arcade. Come on, I'll race you there. All right, well, I guess we now have our next objective. Thank you guys for watching, and with that, I'm going to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching. Wow, that's redundant. And in part 10, we'll be having a little date with Erica, I suppose. Or will we? See you guys then.